My story is similar to Fit for when I started writing poetry. But it kind of ended different. Now, I was writing, you write to a bunch of women, I was writing to one woman. Katrina Sylvester. Katrina Sylvester. And she showed everybody. It's very good. I ain't write for years. I was devastated. She showed everybody in the fourth grade class before I wrote for her. And I was the last to stop. And I didn't write for years. I'm talking about literally didn't pick up, couldn't even think about writing no damn poetry. And until, I got older and same thing with the hip hop, I started writing rap and stuff. I didn't have nothing to really write about.
What kind of raps you wrote? What was it about?
Bunch of shit I wasn't doing.
We call.
Money I did have.
I think all of us did.
Yeah, I was very aspirational stuff. I ain't gonna put that right. But it wasn't until I guess I well the next time I actually wrote was when I went to war. And the same thing, when you that foxhole, you don't think you're coming home, you get really
You're real creative.
So I think that's the first time I really started writing poetry per se. Well, no, let me take that back. Because to be honest, the next time I started writing was when I got to high school. I took speech and drama. And I also took a creative writing course. Just to be, I was in pace writing different courses. And then I had a teacher in my creative writing. She kind of like, she really pushed that. And to be honest with you guys, I started writing poetry specifically. I used to write short stories and all that. I started writing poetry because my grandma said it. It was the one form of writing where they would criticize me about I didn't need to know much of it if I didn't want to. But if it's the wrong spot, nobody's gonna say shit. You know what I'm saying? So I fell in love with poetry because it allowed me to express myself like we are, critique or criticize. Because I have a mild form of finesse. So it's like, but I took that when I was doing it in high school, and when I got in the military, I ended up on good shit, up strong. And then that's when I would say the real poetry started coming out of me. I started thinking about life, my life, about me, you know what I'm saying? Woman on, I got real deep real quick. And then from there, I just started writing and became just a love. And it wasn't until probably 7 or 8 years from there. I think writing, I don't know if the other writers say, like, you come to crucial, pivotal turning points in your life, the writing became
Vulnerability.
yeah, it's a form of escapism, just to get away from the rules you want to. And then at another turning point, I got in the military, and got divorced all in the span of a year. This was 1990. And during that time, it was just like, I had a friend of mine, and he was like, my last duty station in one of the neighborhoods in Jacksonville, Station Bay Hospital, Jacks. And a friend of mine, we both X-ray technicians that work. And he was so like to do, so I would go down to visit, and he was like, hey man, they got this really dope poetry spot. It's got a spot called Jim's Place in Jacksonville. And the Q's from University of Jacksonville did, and I was blown away. I was literally like, kids from the college, and they had some dope ass books. And I was getting chills, just listening to the words, with the hair standing on the neck. I said, wow, I fell in love. I said, damn, this is what I did. And I went home that night, and I started writing. And that was probably, 99, and I had to stop. And then I met this cat. And actually, I thought it was the dopest. I was telling the story to somebody else the other day. I thought the dopest poet on the planet. Because, I got, the first time I wrote a poem, it actually stood on stage and performed in a spot in Greenville, South Carolina, called Underground Coffee. And I got a standing ovation to a poem I got called Black Price. And I was like, yeah, I'm the shit. Ain't like fucking with me. And then I know, cause I was a travel technician at the time. I came back to Jacksonville from worked at the hospital there, and I did it for love. It was something it was escapism. I loved it, and then it was a spot in Jacksonville at the time. It was like 2001. It was called All Eyes on Eden. This little bookstore, and a friend of mine, he was the only person in black on black around that knew at the time. A cat named Shadow. I don't know if you got no Shadow. Name named Shadow. All right. Shadow, you get true to his name. He was a shadow. He would stay back in the corner of the room. He very rarely spit, but he would stay back in the corner and like, just people all the pores. And he always dapped me up. And then one day we were out there with my local blood. He's like, yeah, man, my crew coming for the next show. I was like, your crew? He's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna click up with a bunch of pores, man. And Jelly Hansen. I was like, yeah, okay. In my mind, I'm still thinking I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? So next show come, we doing the show, boom, boom. And that was the first time I experienced the first ever black on black round pop-up. Niggas start popping out of the audience and doing poses. And I was just blown away. So I went from thinking I was the shit and the dopest board in the planet besides Salame C was the only other board somebody from Jacksonville ever met. Well, and Liz too. So Liz was my iron. I mean, Liz, I used to write so hard because I used to know every week Liz was gonna be there with some dope shit, so I had to come up with some dope shit to kind of compete with it. It was all love.
So the person he's talking about, her name is Liz Strait. Y'all get a chance, please follow her online.
So it was like, yeah, I was the shit, and then keyboard came, and next thing I know, I met keyboard, Wally B, Light, Paul D, Faithful Hayes, man, what else was the first year? It was about 80 y'all came.
Samantha Thornhill.
Man,
it was.
They did the pop up. And I was like, man, I ain't shit. I was putting my game. You know what I'm saying? I had to step my game up, man, because I was just blown away. And I already knew I was black and black brown with my family and everything. Yeah, but I'm gonna get my phone. I think I'll just go back to what something we were talking about. And it speaks to, the senseless violence in our community. This is pain to the grave. They say America is the land of milk and honey. Most black folk ain't got no beehives or no cows. We got a bunch of poor kids looking for love, money, and respect. You nothing to do with the law or the lie. So they get bad to them streets, they get with that clique and they take that vow. They trying to fulfill Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the streets the only one showing them how. Some become so cold-blooded, lazy, and hustle. They want it all right now. And the music says it's easy quicker to rob and kill somebody than to have to wipe the sweat off the brow. Deep down, they're scared and lost in a dangerous world. They're just looking for a place they can belong. But they're enticed and gravitate to the ignorance of gangsters because it makes them feel powerful and strong. And some say it's the lack of spirituality that got not scared to walk that green mile. You don't fear God, you don't fear death, you can care less about a judge or a trial. When you get in this courtroom, you're going to be one more arrogant, savage, dope boy in the pile. They're going to give you 25 years for the gun and the coat. And that life without parole, well, that's when you smile. Sad truth is, it seems like a lot of us embrace this killing and death that we want it to be honest. So between the streets, the internet, or the TV, we get entertained every first 48 hours. We idolize these crazy gangsters like they Braveheart. They need guns and numbers to have power. A gang ain't number one real killer, two co-signers, and a bunch of scared, weak fucking cops. Everybody say they standing on bid. Look at the business you standing in. You surrounded by guns, cutthroats, junkies, robbers, and a bunch of thieves. You might as well be riding the back of a tiger while inside of a lion's den. Because the moment you fall off, they're going to eat your ass And your stash ain't gonna make it to your next kid. What happened to the music we made filled with love, inspiration, and hope? Why does everything gotta be about robbing, killing, having sex, selling, or doing dope? We bombard our kids with this ignorance, and then we wonder why they can't cope. We on a free fall to oblivion, and they still talking about slippery slope. Everything backwards. They throwing away their lives trying to imitate that art. And we got parents going right along with the bullshit and not around enough to play their part. With everything our people facing, our racism is disastrous now. While leaders sit back and contemplate and debate which came first, us chickens or our eggs. So we stay enslaved to another tradition that's keeping us as fucking slaves. We know it's poison to our system, but it's all we seem to crave. When black folk do anything, it immediately becomes all the rage. Now a tsunami of death is coming our way, and we're the ones who created the way. Rob, kill, have sex with drugs. Look how we teach them how to behave. Be exact together, that's what our kids ingest. Money's the only thing they try to make you say. They lay a path to our people's destruction, and our children taking it because it's paid. While the industry makes billions of dollars a year, wrapping them to the penitentiary and early grave. They're bad if I give you the whole truth. I'm gonna give you a little appetizer. Them same regular executives are highly invested in private prisons as well as all the top money houses. And they have a fiduciary duty to keep us shooting and killing each other and not to make us stronger and wiser. Growing thug niggas is America's #1 cash crop. And using rap music to fertilize. That's why I'm gonna keep my rhyme fat like a trail burger, no bone. I'm trying to feed your soul more healthier. That's why I'm gonna leave you with this little poem. I ain't no rapper, but I rhyme a lot. And then usually I'm not happy and fun. See, I'm trying to make a difference with my words when my time is done. All this senseless violence and killing in our community is on my spirit like a tongue. And I feel like if I could save at least one life, I feel like I already won. I know my words may never convince no real killer to put down his gun. Just hoping and praying to keep them from being picked up by one of y'all, somebody else's. I think I answered all of them before here.
Actually, he got part of it.
What's a piece that you wrote that the impact of it didn't hit until you gave it to somebody else to hear?
Say that question again.
So like, you know how sometimes we write, but we don't. Sometimes we don't understand what the message is in our own pieces until somebody else hear it and they count something that we weren't thinking about.
I see what you're saying. Something similar happened to me. And it's crazy about it's a piece I wrote about my spirituality. That's a piece called Passion. The first time I did the piece, I had a spot, it's my own venue, I got a spot my program for about 10, about 10, 20 years ago now. I've never for a long time. And I always said, it's probably the most personal poem I've ever written, or most intimate poem. Because I don't think nothing more personal than your salvation, your relationship with God. So it was probably, I wouldn't say it was the hardest, but it was kind of like, should I say this? I had, first time, me, I'm gonna put it out there. I pride myself into being, I'm gonna say what that motherfucker won't say. And do it proud. So just one time I was hesitant. And on top of that, the first time I wrote a group poem, probably the whole tape got it at the same time. Just picked up. Just grab the shit got up. Those, they be quiet either. They know they won't like the shit you say. They I'm from Alabama, that's the Bible Belt. And my city, Mobile, Alabama, is the vault. And you say anything that they figure is disparaging about Jesus Christ, you gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the culture, you know, we live with, you know, being black in the South. So like the whole table, I can hear the grumbling. So I was actually, I finished the poem, you know, people get, you know, but I didn't do the poem like I should have done the poem because it kind of schooled me, I didn't do it right. I didn't do the poem probably for another 6, 7 months. Never even thought about approach, about doing it. And then I was at a friend of mine's spot in Memphis, Tennessee, his name is Fat Man. And I went to his spot, and I didn't, you know, I said, you know, some reason I told myself I'm gonna do this poem. But I wanted to get out of my environment and see how it played somewhere else. And when I did the poem, literally before I got on stage, a young lady came before, I even heard her speak earlier that night, and just grabbed me and hugged my neck and just started crying. And I'm talking about real snot, boo-hoo, like, yeah, you, same thing, you told my story, I never thought people, I thought I was the only one that felt like that, and you know, I'm starting to cry too, it was like, so we have a snot fest right there in Winston, you know, in Tennessee. So, once that happened, I said, no, it kind of made a change for me. I just started going crazy. And then I started realizing I wasn't the only one. And I shouldn't be scared of the poem because every time I've done that poem, literally something along that vein had happened. It might not be, you know, that dramatic, more subtle like that. Or seeing some she did, or the eye, or they told my story or something. But I always get some kind of validation. I was actually going to do it tonight too, but I think
Are you gonna do it tonight? Are you gonna do it tonight?
I would at first, but I'll do it tonight later on.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, I'll do it tonight later on.
I have 2 questions, and any other poets can answer too, but first one is, do you have products?
Not really, I'm sorry.
Okay. The second one is, you just kind of touched on it a little bit, like, when you're speaking to an audience, you know, sometimes you have to feel the audience out to know what you can say, what you, right. So as a poet, do you do that? Do you feel like,
Oh, gauge your audience, no problem.
yeah, like, is this, like, should I say this form, should I say this poetry in this audience? Do you feel the audience before you say it?
Yeah. Some way you do that. Don't go first. You want to second, put your man face, don't call, right? We had to come to this. But now you gotta, if you can, you know, some people have that presence, you know what I'm saying? They can set the standard, like my brother Big Fish. Oh, I always give him go for me. You got the voice, man. You command your attention, you know. The preacher man, you know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, a lot of times, I gave them I see how they respond to the other poets. And really just, you know, life experience, people always look there. When you look at the demographics, women, how many men, age range, you know, okay, church lady over there. Ooh, sing ass. So, you know, you gotta make those observations as you go. But the thing is, you always, regardless, if you write, if your writing is true and authentic, you know, people, they see the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? No matter what you do, you know, they might not even like what you're gonna say, but you say it with conviction, they'll respect. And I learned that about it. Yes, sir.
Have you ever wrote in such a way that your own stuff moved you to tears? Because of the audience, when you saw.
Now, but by the time, you know, I'm a storyteller, so it's like if I'm writing a story, I usually cry it out like, you know, already. I don't went through all the emotion that's gonna take to write this piece. So I don't
find
really
a way to get it out.
It's one piece that I do get choked up on stage. And it just, I don't know why, it's ex-white people. And you know, the bitter form. You have to hear me do bitter. Yeah, that's, I'm exercising the demons on that one. So, you know, putting it all out in my bag, you know. It's like chip parts in it, you know, you can't, it's like when you're a storyteller, you know, you tell it, you kind of relive those, you have to kind of relive those moments as you're speaking about it. So it's like, it's, you know, I have to kind of, you know, but it worked because even when the audience see me go through, they know it's true. You can tell I'm not faking. That makes the lips trembling for real. You know what I'm saying? he going through it up there. So it's,
You anointed.
well, no, it's just it's
No,
a piece of
it's
soul.
the anointing that moves you.
Yeah. It's just, that one piece is probably and it depends on the audience. It's a domestic violence piece that I do. That yeah. That was pretty intense. So you know, I have found myself getting, you know, kind of moved, but most of the time I move by other boys when I hear other stuff. It's like,
Tell your story. You look in the mirror.
and a lot of times it's like they said something to speak to something that I would consider.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I think it's more of a empathy thing. You know what I'm saying? When I hear a poet, I can see. Cause I know it's like as being a poet, I know bullshit in my head. So that's like, you know, certain shit you can't make up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I can 9 times out of 10 when I hear poet to a poem, I can know whether it's a real life story or whether it's fiction. I in my mind I think I can. And 9 times, most times I'm right. And when I can see a poem that is giving me a piece, I love all types of poetry, but it's like the poetry that I truly love is the one where in my mind you didn't really want me to know that. Like I feel like you exposed yourself, you gave me a piece of yourself that, you know, that's pretty embarrassing. Some people may look at it.
They would say they would call it meat.
Yeah,
You give
and
your
I feel like
body.
you blessed me by revealing that part of you, you know. And I had a friend of mine, so she's like, no matter how personal it is, you write it, you can recite it. That's making sense. What she said, you write it, you recite it, because you never know. It don't used to be writing it because it does no good if you keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't validate somebody else's experience if they don't hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when the poem is within its power. When people get to hear it, experience it, they be like, damn, you know what, I ain't done one. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else, you know, went through the same type of shit. I don't feel so bad. I don't feel so dumb. I don't feel so easy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes poetry so powerful. You know what I'm saying? When it's true in its purpose is moving other people. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the woman that introduced me to Keith, she was a judge that he helped get her into the office. I did the poem for her, and she introduced me to him. The next time I went back to jail, I had to go back before her again. When I went before her again, after I got finished reading my case, she asked me, do I have another poem to share with her? And she said, something short and sweet. I said, well, I said, you can choose from which one you want to hear. And she said, okay, well, I said, Be Glad or A New Dimension. And she said, oh, you need A New Dimension. And I did it, and I felt it when I was doing it, and everybody in the room felt it. So when I got finished, she was like, wow. Everybody was like, yo, thank you. So I mean, like, when people see me out on the street, like some of the people that work in the place where she's at, they said, Alice, right? He said, he enjoyed that poem that you did. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was gonna do all that. It was just so that she could hear what she wanted to do.
I think the biggest compliment that I've ever received probably less than 2 months ago. I went and performed in Louisville, Mississippi at Juneteenth. And that time, you know, chick who put on the festival, she gave me exchange of, you know, social media and stuff. And by the time I got home with my social media, she put on there, she brought on the HUGGY came to perform. He was, verbatim, he's like, he was so electric. The room was amplified, and everybody there left a changed person. Whoa! And it was just like, wow, it's like, okay. And that's how you know how the power of words.
You became Oprah, didn't you?
Yeah, I do that. Did I? Yeah. I was breaking that moment like, I thought I did it, bro. I did it like that.
Right. You put it right up.
But you never know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask because I know we're talking about the poetry stuff, but we're talking about the power of spoken word.
yeah.
I know that you do a lot of things in the community, not just in Mobile, not just in Alabama, you also travel to other states, you know, being an activist. So I wanted to make sure we touched on that and let them kind of see that side of you. Can you kind of explain to them how your poetry has been paving the way, you know,
Yeah.
office-wise, political-wise, you know what I'm saying?
You know, and I think I'm gonna talk to somebody about this. It's like, you know, like I've been doing this like I said, like 25, 26 years. Like I said, the first time I, you know, got on the stage was like 99, like I said, in Jacksonville. Like, hey, I was this poetry shit, you know what I'm saying? Who's this poetry? For the first 6, 7 years, you know, I did it for the love, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I got 2 opportunities, you know, like a friend of mine, John Good, the poet. He was the agent for Atlanta, and they was auditioning for take to go to their poetry thing. At the time, they never come this weekend. I was like, I'm at a job, I'm making $50 a day per diem, $30 an hour, you know what I'm saying? Free apartment, rental car, the whole nine. Like, I wasn't thinking about being their poet. And just come here and do audition taking. I know you thinking about it. Called me, his sister called, her name is Tiffany Good. She called me the next day, the next year. But I was at another assignment in New York at the time. I knew I couldn't get that. I didn't know I ain't on it. 2 years after that, I lost my license, my driver's license. I got a 1971 Chevelle, and I was having a little too much fun in it, so I got a whole bunch of tickets. So I lost my driver's license. So I lost my ability to work in the shopping company. And then, you know, and I was back at home. This is 2005 or 6. I just moved back to Mobile. And I was working in a hospital locally. I felt like a slave. It was like, what? $22 an hour? You know what I'm saying? Which is great money for anybody else, but you've been making 30 plus a film, you pissed off. You know, you feel like a slave. So it was just like, oh man, I want to do something like this and did, you know. And at the time, you know, what I would do is prior to that, when I would come home, whenever I went to poetry thing, I would drive to Birmingham, I had a friend named Edwin Birmingham. Or I would drive to New Orleans, I had a friend named Shit Shelton, Sonny Patterson, they had a drive to see New Orleans. So after Hurricane Katrina destroyed the whole Gulf Coast, everybody was displaced. So when I moved back in 05, there was no portrait on the Gulf Coast, none whatsoever. People just kind of get back to being living, you know what I'm saying? So it was me and another guy that started, you know, Romero, Mississippi. He started doing shows, and it was like that was when I think I lost my train. But what was I going to do?
I asked you to touch on the political aspects.
Yeah,
You went somewhere else. I'm just gonna let you ride.
The point I was making, when I first started doing this poetry shit, it was all about me and helping poet on Spanish, going all over the country, let motherfuckers know who I was and this, and making a whole bunch of money. But that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But the reason, for the first part I was saying is like, I watched, because I had watched all my friends and my contemporaries go, you know, national TV, and you know, the HBO that they go all over the country. And here I am back sitting in Mobile, and I was like, damn, I'm not moving my purpose. It's like, you know, I was like, I'm doing something, I make good money at it, but it's not what I want to do. I want all my friends do what I really want to do, and I made a point that I'm gonna step out of faith, and I'm gonna be a poet. You know, now I've been a poet. Now don't get me wrong. You know, I have to supplement my income a lot of ways. Whether it be a sheetrock tile, whatever I got to do, DoorDash. You know, I make it happen. But for the most part, I've been a poet for 9 years. You know? And for the last 10 of it, I've really kind of switched my focus. I could care less about being the highest poet or being on anybody's television. I want my poetry to serve a purpose. I see what's going on in my community. So when she was talking about for the activism, I always did it, but I made a conscious effort probably like 10 years ago to move in that lane, in that direction, because I felt that's what my poetry was in its most powerful state. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where, you know, I Dr. Henry Clark said, when he asked Malcolm X, y'all know Dr. Henry Clark was. When he asked Malcolm X, what should I do the best way I can help my people? His answer was do your best work. You know? Just do your best work and put it to the people. And so, poetry is my best work. And so I try to take poetry to school. We got a mental program. I've been to 2 or 3 prisons. I'll go wherever the Most High tell me with this poetry. And that's what I love. Taking it. Can I ask you a question somewhere? Yeah. Somewhere?
That's not it.
Yeah. I do everything. I'm also a member of, are y'all familiar with Poor People's Campaign? Okay, Barbara. I'm sorry.
Is that with Trish?
Huh?
Is that with Trish? Trish, is that with Trish? Trish Brown here in Tallahassee?
No. Oh, y'all the chapter here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna say Mobile.
They have one here.
Yeah, you know, so I'm trying to think of the word, co-chair, vice-chair, I'm not a coordinator, I'm a seat coordinator, you know, for this. So I end up doing what we say, good trouble through them a lot. I work with a couple nonprofits. I work with just about any nonprofit, you know, and if they got money, they don't, if they do, you know, that's a blessing, I'll take it on my regular. But my mission is to get the word out there. Poetry, I think, you know, cause it's like I was saying in the poem, there's no balance. Right now, you know, when you pick up their phone, turn on the radio, the TV is all murdered, they're killed, have sex, popular, do this,
Who's the best?
it's too much. As a grown man, and it's too much of my spirit. I can imagine it was going to the freshman and child. So there's no balance. So my mission is to put a balance. And I think I've always said poetry is that balance. You know, I think poetry became so popular really because it's a lot of people. Now I'm 54 years old. You know, my generation ushered in hip hop. You know, and I think we're at the age now when we can't listen to most of this garbage, you know, around our kids anyway, or even separately, just don't do nothing for our spirit. So I think that's why a lot of people the last 20 years have gravitated towards spoken word. There's a way to get that rhyme, that rhythm, and that's you know, that still has some soul in it.
You know, the kids will tell you what they want to hear.
No, the kids are hearing what the industry is telling them what they do. And that's the problem. They don't know they don't enjoy this.
It depends on what
They don't have a chance
have.
to be exposed to it.
Yeah.
And that's why I go to school so much, because it's too late to wait for them to get to the point of being drop it down to what they can truly do with their words. You know, look, I'm in the process of putting some stuff together right now, and you give me 5 poets, I go to any high school or middle school, any school, make an immediate impact. Give me a 1-hour program in the simple program with 5 poets in my children. I'll make an immediate impact. And I have, because I have done it. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean 5 poets?
Give me Big Fish, Red Storm,
I'll be
George
one.
Reed.
I'll be one.
You know what I'm saying?
Make it
Give me
happen.
Evelyn, you know what I'm saying? Let them see what they can truly do with their work. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Instead of this, you know, this crap they're being fed, forced down their throat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta raise the vibrations up, man. And if we wait till they're already in the middle high school, documenting bullshit, it's hard to get them up off of the dumb shit. That's why I like to go into schools and the middle programs, and I'm like, look, man, there's levels to this. You can do this with your words. You ain't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? You can stand out. You know what I'm saying? You both stand out because you're not following the crowd. You know?
Now, I wrote a song called Stay in School, right? Over 27 years ago. Now, they asked us to come to the park and do it for the kids. They loved it so much that they asked us to do a special day for the Apollo. We went to the Apollo, they loved that. They sent us to Shea Stadium, where they had a big event with Queen Latifah and all of them, Shannon, saying that music play, giving it to them.
Yeah.
We had to pick her up in a limo, and we went straight out there.
And I'm thinking, I'm like, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, they concluded that I was one of the best in Tallahassee, right? What happened, I didn't like that because I didn't want to be in competition. They always try to put me up against the best. So everywhere I go, even when I was in New Jersey, they always make sure they put, let me tell you, I was messed up. I was in a group called the Outlaws. They had a guy named Pleasure. They were telling me that I should dance against him because he was one of the best dancers in one of the groups. And so they wanted me to battle him. And everybody that was good, they wanted me to battle all the real good ones. But I never got a chance to do it because I really didn't want to be a dancer for that type of thing. You know, I just do it because I love it. So eventually I quit. They was like begging me, you know, come back, man, we do a real back. It was fun for a while, but it wasn't really me. I started off with the name National Boy. They were like, that don't sound like you. So they started calling me Lightfoot.
Anybody?
Can you speak to the power of poetry? Like, why, when you got options of dance to a rap song, listen to a regular song, or watch a movie, why, or how is poetry still powerful in 2025? What's the origin?
I think, word is powerful itself. You know what I'm saying? Just, I think the biggest advantage poetry has is inclusive. It's all inclusive. You know, all you need is a mouthpiece and a brain and a pen. You don't even feel that you need from people who ain't rap down. I gotta get back to that. I gotta get back to like, make love to the patient, you know. But the thing is with poetry is like other hobbies or skill sets. Like you know, you might have to, you want to, you know, it's a lot of times if you don't have a physical attribute, you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you 5'4", you can't play basketball all the time. Or, you know, so you have physical limitations. With poetry, there's no limitations. All you need is a brain. You know, the only limitation is your brain when it comes to poetry. So all you know, it's inclusive because whether you black, white, old, young, straight, gay, it don't discriminate.
Right.
Anybody can be a part of this game. And that's why I love it. I think that's why it's going to be a big part of bringing people together, especially in times like these. You know, because if you think about it, that's really the true power. You know, I tell, when I do my workshops with kids, the first thing I tell them is that your ability to express yourself is going to determine how successful you are in life. That's what anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be different. Your ability to express and tell people who you are within you is going to be the difference between you getting a ticket or not getting that ticket. Right? Getting that job or not getting that job. Getting that ticket or actually going to jail. You know what I'm saying? How do you express yourself? How do you, you know, you think about anybody that's been successful in there, I don't care, you don't have to have a job in public speaking, but your public speaking is there's a lot of jobs. You think all of us, whether you're a lawyer, politician, there's so many jobs, you know, even some you just even service, customer service. Just being able to talk with people, you know, and express who you are and who you are inside is gonna get you further. It's gonna be the difference whether or not you get that deal or not. You know what I'm saying? And especially with black youth, you know, black people, because you know what I'm saying, we have so many strikes against it. Because number one, first thing they see is our skin color. So we have to go in every situation to disprove a negative off the top. And the first thing they're gonna judge you by after your skin is by what was the first thing that come out of your mouth. Your diction, your vocabulary, how you say it. So if you go in that job interview, hey, what up, folks? Oh God, you're not getting that job.
They usually get you about your dreads.
Or the dread. I mean, physical appearance is nothing, but the thing is, as far as what poetry does, it allows you to express yourself. It builds with your, number one, builds your vocabulary. So you can go and talk in any room. You know what I'm saying? I like to tell people that I even write my poetry I write my poetry where it can be received and enjoyed by somebody with a PhD or somebody in the fifth grade.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I strive for. I want the princes and the paupers to be able to read this and understand. I don't want to go over their head. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to elevate it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to dumb it down at all. But I will speak on a level in which it will be you can comprehend because you can't comprehend it. So I'm not going to quote. I'm pretty AP. I'm a rhyming poet, and it's like being a poet that rhymes, like we get discriminated against, you know, because that's how the poet we can rap. So it's like when you rhyme like your poetry, it's incumbent upon you to be substance. You have to have substance. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna be like, yeah, you just, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, when you hear me a bit fit, go hard. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's a punchline, every line. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't come hard with the substance, they figure you're not deep because you know. Yeah, don't knock me because you can't rhyme and be deep at the same time. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
You know how I started to write poetry? I had dreams. I could see words that was in a garden, like the plant that would come out with letters, and I was picking those and I was putting them in baskets, and I would put those letters together into words and poetry, and eventually I was thinking, maybe God said I'm gonna be writing, and there was a time when I dreamed that I was putting words in cans, just stuffing them with for a day that I may be writing, and I didn't know that it was gonna actually become a reality. And so eventually when God told me I was gonna write a book, I mean, God, I was shy. I never wanted to talk to nobody. I was always trying to stay away from people because I wasn't educated. And so I didn't feel smart enough to hang around people who knew something. And so I would always shy away. One thing I would do is I would use my dancing as a way of communicating who I was. And I use my artwork. Because I was a good artist. I was a good dancer. And so people would always brag about that. And I was like, using that as my power. But I didn't want to open my mouth. When I opened my mouth, what was in my heart didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out. Therefore, I looked like I was sound, and that was not accepted. So I tried to stay quiet and just dance and do my artwork, and let them just see the skills that I had on that. But God Himself had to pull the gift out of me of poetry, and when that book finally came out, I knew that God really spoke to me. If He gonna say it, He got to make it happen, and it happened, and I sold out.
So it's life lessons. It goes deeper than just the academic building when it comes to poetry. Like I said earlier, it's like I love all types of poetry. I love poetry when people, I feel like people, they gave them peace to themselves. It's a lot of life lessons within it. It's not just about the academic building. Then you put the tendrils and the metaphors and the analogies. I like to see all that in poetry. I like to see that, that gives it, that funk, but when it's all said and done, and I feel it. I want to feel something. I think somebody was talking about that earlier. It's like, I want to feel something.
Like, can you speak to the part of me that
speak to me in some kind of way. And then I think, even with the kids, I tell them, look, it's about a life lesson. It's not about just being able to rhyme and being able, talking first, see how we did, you learning life lessons. You don't know it yet, you know what I'm saying? You're honing skills that's gonna take you farther in your life than you actually know. You know what I'm saying? Being able to write and be able to stand up and express who you are. Everybody's yourself in the world. That's the one trait that they have. You don't see unless there's some super nerd, you don't see any shy rich folks, you know what I'm saying? They billionaires, they gonna get up and tell you what this is what I got. Or they gonna pay somebody to do it for them at work. You know what I'm saying?
Is there some advice you give new poets or poets not to do?
I wouldn't even want to say what that is.
Anything like, any kind of waters or not kind of trend in or?
Let's talk to anybody else.
You know what? I think everybody's poetry journey like, everybody's not gonna be, you know, writing books, trying to travel all over the country, place, doing stuff like we do, you know. This might be something that, you know, I enjoy this before we skip this, you know what I'm saying? I just wanna, you know, be there in fellowship with other boys and, you know what I'm saying? Just take the journey as it comes, you know what I'm saying? And trust that you don't feel right, you know what I'm saying? Avoid the clicks, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't saying don't fellowship. You know, just read the energy of the click that you know, that's a lot of times, you know, boys get real clickish and just, you know, don't judge. Don't judge. Don't judge. Don't judge. It's just, you know, just like with any job or career or line of thinking, you know, boys, you got, you know, you got talented assholes. You got a lot of talented assholes. You know, just don't be that. You know what I'm saying? Just be authentic. I think that's the best thing to make. People, you know, I know I can. I don't know if you ever been sit there, listen to a poem, and be like, nah.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
It's not for me.
Yeah, you know, the songwriter just don't feel right, it just, you know,
It don't speak to the person of me.
you know, it's like, I don't know, it's like you can, it's authenticity is something, it can't be duplicated, it's either real or it's not, you know what I'm saying? And I say, whenever you write, just be that, you know what I'm saying? And equally, when you perform. You know, I do a lot of workshops, I rarely do workshops when I try to teach people how to write, because I think that's personal, and it comes from within. You know, I can't tell you how to write, because I got sick of going to workshops, people tell me, well, this is wrong, that bad, you know. No, ain't nothing bad about this, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff out there, you know, I had somebody told me my poetry is too polished. And I had to think about it, when it's too polished. It's like, it's like, I was like, what do you mean by that? It's like, well, it's too, you know, it's like, it's like it's so structured and it's like, you don't break. I was like, well, when I write with a purpose and a mission. You know, I'm trying to express a point and I get comfortable. I'm not gonna run out when you can, you know. And any good storyteller is gonna stay true to the story. You know, let the story follow you to run. You know what I'm saying? So be careful when you take advice from this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How can they follow you online? How can they follow you online?
If you put in Huggy Bear the Poet, HUGGY Bear, and spelled ironically, BAPOET, Huggy Bear the Poet. That'll get you on everything. IG, Facebook. If you had Gmail, it'll be my email.
You have product.
Now it's time for people to cash out. Just put it out there. You put it out there. Venmo too. Yeah, that's what Venmo. So, but Huggy Bear Report, you Google that, everything comes. Yeah.
You have product.
I don't have it on me.
I'm not saying on you, but
Yeah, I generally have. I usually have my thumb drive. I have a book I self-publish. I don't have any copies of them right now, so I apologize.
what's the name of the book?
Next time I'll get to it. But I tell you what, if you want a bootleg copy of my book, there's a couple people selling them on Amazon. And it's selling for twice as what I paid.
Yeah,
You only sell my $6. Well, I was thinking of the carpenter.
Yeah, that'll be.
What's the name of the book? What's the name of the book?
Love, Laughter, Heartache, and Pain. I looked at, it was two, I looked about 3 or 4 years ago, it was like 2 copies. And one of them was like, I don't know how you got that copy, it wasn't even signed. It was like, you feel brand, it wasn't anybody I do. So, I don't know. Well, a friend of mine gave my case, he gave him out when he opened up his restaurant. A lot of people got unsigned copies of that. But, yeah, it's a Huggy Bear Report. That'll get you all my stuff, man. And the title book is Love, Laughter, Heartache, and Pain.
What color was that 1931 Chevrolet?
It's green. Hey, was it? Oh, she green. got a little, she's got like a, got a camera kind of look back. I got a spray can thing. Hey, I'm going, she been down 10 years, I'm trying to get it back, get back in the street.
Y'all show Huggy Bear some love.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Great job, great job, great job.